YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now this video right here is about Azealia Banks, and a lot of you all might know Azealia Banks from where I really don't know. But anyway, Azealia Banks recently was on the Wild 'N Out show, and I'm sure a lot of you all have seen or heard about the Wild 'N Out show. Nick Cannon show, they have a lot of little props, little acts come on there, rappers. They do all kinds of strange things, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a variety little show, if you will. Something like a minstrel show also. But at the same time, it was not fun as it used to be to me personally. I don't watch it hardly no more. Every now and then, but I used to like it when it was Cat Williams was on there, Corey Holcomb then was on there also. But you know, Nick always have different celebrities and different stars on there, even though some of them ain't quite stars yet. But the show had broke out a lot of talents like DC Young Fly and also Just Hilarious, who is also very funny, and various other artists also. But recently he had Azealia Banks on there, and she made a big old scene. And basically, she started boohooing, crying, and this is what she do in a lot of instances. Just like when she got into it with Russell Crowe a few years ago at some kind of little party, and basically said Russell Crowe choked her, spit on her, and all this. But even the rapper RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan basically said that she was lying and that Azealia was the aggressor in the situation. So she's like the woman, the girl that cries wolf all the time. She goes around starting shit with people. Then the moment something happens and don't go her way, she blows it all up. And this is why a lot of people in the industry do not even want to work with her. You know what I'm saying? I look at Azealia like a fake ass Tiana Taylor. For those of you who know who Tiana Taylor is, that's who I look at her as. She want to be like a Tiana Taylor, but she's not actually talented enough, and also she's very messy. In this industry, you don't want no messy people working with you because they're gonna mess your money up. And it's a good thing that Nick Cannon also clapped back at her, and he also said that he's gonna pray for her and basically that she's alive. But I'm gonna read a snippet from this story to break it down even further. I'm gonna give my opinion. Surely, as we go. Azealia Banks dragged Wild 'N Out for making her cry, and Nick Cannon responds. Controversial Harlem rapper Azealia Banks filmed an episode of Wild 'N Out, and she was not laughing when she left. Banks was invited to perform on Nick Cannon sketch comedy and improv show for MTV, but the experience turned out to be a nightmare, just like everything else that she's involved in. But she didn't have no problem doing what she called it spirit cooking, when it showed her talking about she cut chickens up and stuff, and she worship and prays to some little statue in the corner and this evil satanic stuff. She ain't had no problem with that. She don't break down when she's killing these chickens, but the moment somebody confronts her, she turns into a chicken and starts crying and boo-hooing every damn where. And we already know what kind of woman she is. She's the kind of woman that you basically don't even want around you, because if she's around you, trust me, she's going to find fault, or she's going to start some shit with you or somebody else. So I don't even see really why Nick Cannon threw a bone at her and told her to come on a show, because she's clearly a troublemaker. Now, controversial and outspoken Harlem rapper Azealia Banks is more known for stirring up drama than she is for her music. Yes, that's the truth. Recently, Banks took to Instagram to share that she filmed an episode of the Nick Cannon's sketch comedy show, Wild 'N Out. For the most part, celebrities that are featured on the show are able to take the jokes while delivering their own punchlines. You got to be signified. You got to be able to dish it out and take it. You just can't talk about people because they're going to talk about you back. You got to have tough skin. So for you weak ass people, don't go on the show, because it's not for you. Because trust me, they're going to say some stuff. They're going to talk about how you look. They're going to talk about your teeth. They're going to talk about your hair, what kind of car you drive. If anything they know on you, they're going to talk about it. I mean, did you not see how DC Young Fly roast Just Hilarious? And Just Hilarious just basically laughed it off, like, you know what I'm saying? She showed her true hair for a reason, because she wanted you all to say something, even though a lot of people didn't say nothing about it. But at the same time, it goes to show you got to have tough skin. You can't get up here and in this pen of wolves and then complain when one of them start biting at you, because you done bit too. That's why you on the show, figuring that, you know, you will be down for the get down and that you can make people laugh. And if you can't do that, then oh well, you don't have no business on the show. Clearly, she had no business on the show. Now, however, Banks didn't enjoy the jokes as she left the show in tears. According to Banks, she felt intentionally ganged up on, as she alleged that she was the recipient of several jokes that made fun of her physical appearance. They always talk about people on there. Don't you hear Doughboy? They always talk about how fat he is on there, the fat one on there. And said particularly her complexion. Don't you hear they always talk about people complexion on there, light skin, brown skin, black, or whatever else? Don't you always hear that? But she's the type who always take the little things and turn it to a race baiting issue, take it to a color issue, take it to a gender issue, male and female. That's the type of woman that she is. Clearly a troublemaker. This is why nobody want to work with her in the business. Now, it appears that Banks believed that she was only booked to perform a song and not participate in the comedic battles. Name, except for the mega stars, like the big stars that come on there, where they only perform a song and they dap everybody up. You know, and even then, behind the scenes, they're still going to be laughing and talking and joking with you. But at the same time, maybe they don't look at her like she's some type of mega star. Maybe they don't look at her in that aspect. Maybe they look at her just like what she is a clown. And that's why they got her there and made fun of her or whatever the hell else. But I'm pretty sure that she knew that this type of show does this type of thing. Just like if you go on a Price is Right, well, if it's still playing, I think it is. But if you go on a Price is Right, these other game shows, you thinking, what? I'm going to do this certain thing. This is what goes on. So if you seeing this show and you seeing how they get down, wouldn't one be led to believe that maybe they're going to joke on me? Maybe they're going to say something about my appearance. Maybe they're going to say something about who I am as a person. I mean, they do it to everybody else. So what makes you special and any different? Now, well, she didn't escape this wrath of the roasting session. And roast they ass they did, just like a damn pig or a turkey. Now, she said, I did Wild 'N Out today. There were tons of pre-planned colorist jokes and, of course, Cry Baby Cry. Some little scrawny black Atlanta twink. Now, that's what she's saying, not me. She says, some little scrawny black Atlanta twink was prepared for me. They planned this. Hit me on the short notice, told me I didn't have to participate in the coon-ass freestyle battles, not my style, and I was to sing my song and go home. I show up and some guy who's darker than me starts calling me ugly and being colorist. Then all of a sudden a choir of the most disgustingly basic local cattle called urban pseudo-comedic fat because you sit in a chair all day. Greasy soul food induced south of the Mason Dixie line self-hatred ass it hashtags backwards. Post Jim Crow, post traumatic slave disorder, true self-esteem less ward of the state clowns. So she basically saying this whole thing, and I don't know why they always trying to say south of the Mason-Dixie line. Hell, it's racism every damn well. All this stuff talking about south of the Mason-Dixie line. You better read up on some of these real hustlers and gangsters that's from the damn south. You'll be amazed if they wasn't the biggest. That's a different story for a different time, though. But anyway, so for people who try to make that little comparison and all that, you didn't have to do that right there, because now you're throwing a whole region in there. Anyway, and she also goes on to say, water the state clowns with their low-scale and highly unimpressive resumes start going off about how the beautiful Azealia Banks looks. I never felt so much hate and rage for anyone else than I did in that moment. Yamaya was really on stage. Yamaya. So damn, I mean, wow, like what's really going on? While Banks criticized some of the comedians for attacking her, Banks took the opportunity to throw some jabs at some of the Wild 'N Out cast members, as she called them clowns with unimpressive resumes. Banks even took a jab at Nick Cannon by stating that if she made fun of his lupus, she would be considered the bad guy. Cannon caught wind of her comments and he posted a screenshot of her statements on his Instagram page with a comment of his own, basically saying, "Don't you hate when you create your own storms but forget your umbrella?" Nick Cannon wrote on his Instagram page as he tagged Banks. Cannon pointed out that she was delusional and that he would lift her up in prayer. That's all you gotta do, just lift her up to God. Let God deal with it. Now we are praying for you, Queen. Hashtag speedy recovery. Hashtag healing sheep. Hashtag Wild 'N Out for real. Hashtag karma. You know Nick gonna go all the way in. Now, Azealia Banks felt ambushed as she was allegedly roasted on Wild 'N Out, as she claims that the comedians made fun of her skin complexion. They make fun of each other's skin complexions, as well as she was called ugly. They call each other ugly and fat and all this stuff. Banks took to social media to discuss the awful experience, as she claims she had cried. Well, the internet was quick to remind Banks that karma is real, as the rapper is known for saying hurtful and hateful things to other celebrities all the time, kind of like another Wendy Williams, if you will. Can dish it out, but can't take it. And we'll talk about anybody, including their mama and granddaddy and grandfather, and expect you to sit there and just take it. But the moment somebody throws some shit back at them, they crying and ducking and begging and trying to cop a deuce, trying to cop a plea. Now, interestingly enough, Banks seems to be the only celebrity that has complained about the roasting session on Wild 'N Out. All these seasons this show probably been on for like what, 12 years now, 13 years now. And she the only one to complain out of all them hundreds of shows they done did. So it goes to show you what type of person she is and why you can look back in time two or 3 years ago and see why her and Russell Crowe had got into it, basically trying to say Russell was basically calling her the N-word and being very disrespectful to her. He even said the man even spit on her. But the RZA, who was close friends with Russell Crowe, not saying that he was taking up for Russell Crowe, but basically invited Azealia to the party because it was the RZA, it was reason that she was there was because the RZA invited her. Russell didn't invite her. So being RZA guest, and she did that, and Russell and the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan are very close friends, it put him on the spot, so he had to say something, you know, because to defend his friend, because she basically saying that this man assaulted her, and he had to tell the truth. And come to find out, she was the one there kicking all this shit up, just like she would years later on Wild 'N Out. And people like her would never blow up and never make it in the industry, because one thing about it, nobody want to work with somebody that's hard to work with. You know what I'm saying? That always have to find fault in every single thing that you do. And I advise you to stay away from these people right here. So let me know what you all think about this video. And to Miss Azealia Banks, you know, for you and people like you to dish it out but can't take it, that says a lot about you and how you build. You know what I'm saying? It's an old saying that they always say, and I'm gonna leave you all with this: if you can't take the heat, get the hell out the kitchen. That's all I gotta say right there. It's easy to say than done, but when you start sweating, you can't take it no more. Get the hell out and stay gone. Anyway, if you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also share this video with your friends and family who love to cry wolf and love to complain about every damn thing, but don't want nobody to say shit when they going off on somebody. Share that with them today. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe and stay away from these haters, because they out here. I'm out.